conference area. Yeah. So next up, like I said, is Praveen Crasta, who is the founder of Unified Intelligent, which leverages honeycomb structures, understanding and environmental simulation to create high-performance construction material from single-use and multi-layer plastics. And their mission is to enhance the value of waste plastic, aiming to recycle 70% of India's ocean-bound plastic by 2040. But you know, he has an incredible journey. Started out as an entrepreneur at 18, founding the Intercollegiate Cultural Festival Resonance in 2004, which became a youth movement by 2005 of 10,500 people. In 2007, he pioneered an eco-friendly alternative to thermocol. In 2012, he took charge of the global business operations for an environmental chamber company, simulating world climates to ensure the reliability and quality of various products. And now he's here to tell us about this journey and more, and how he got here. So over to you, Praveen. Very, very pleased to have you at the UnConference stage.
Thank you very much, Priyanka. I'm not going to bore you with my story or anything of how we reached here. I would like to talk to you about... can I stand here itself? Okay. I would like to share with you some of our... No problem, thanks. I'd like to share with you some of our understandings that we have had about the way we implement things today from top down versus the opportunity that exists in implementing things bottom up. We call this the Banyan tree effect. You know, the Banyan tree is a great example to take of how it starts off as a mother tree, reaching out vertical and then horizontal, almost teaching every root the things it's got to do once it reaches the ground, and manages that root until it becomes steady, not creating just kids, or in our terms as we call subsidiaries, but the mother tree actually works towards creating more mothers. And eventually, the plan is for the original tree to eventually die down and be able to have the other offspring take over the original process. This methodology of functioning in comparison to what we do today, let's take sustainability as an example. We hope to save this planet by making policy changes at the top, hoping we're going to have regulatory bodies come in and enforce those rules. Once the regulatory bodies become efficient, which is going to take time, they will come forward and start sort of policing / fining us for non-sustainable activities. Then we take action, and by the time that whale in the ocean cannot be waiting for us. So there is a chance in the area with the age of AI, with the age of blockchain, that we don't necessarily need policy changes to be made and regulatory bodies to come in and then for us to take action today. There is a full, absolute, open opportunity to embrace blockchain, embrace AI, and create small communities, small, sustainable communities that are so well made, so well organized, so well in their processes and their systems, that we make it in such a fashion that it is replicable bottom up. Let us say you're talking about a small plastic waste management system. If an event like this, which is showcasing the latest technologies, showcasing the possibilities of what we can do as individuals, this is the place for us to understand the chance of taking this technology and creating small communities for plastic management, for women empowerment, for birds and trees, for soil, for water, for anything for that matter. If we do that successfully enough, we could also make it a small competition between one place and the next. What if Malleshwaram was competing with Jayanagar on bird population? What if Sarjapur and some electronic city are fighting on water consumption in their area? If we are able to create these kind of clusters, empowered, I would think, by women, who would be the most appropriate to kind of take on this challenge to be able to create this. Today, I believe we have the greatest chance of just single individuals, without the need of the government, without the need of anyone, just as small communities to solve things in their small community alone. But this is not about creating a small association and starting off to do small work, but this is about creating a system. Imagine this to be like a McDonald's. When you go to McDonald's anywhere around the world, they have a standard process. What do you want, which burger, which cheese, you want this, you want that, blah, 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 blah. And they'll turn back and they'll scream at the guy and say, 2 burgers, 1 fries, and this anywhere around the world. His frying pan, his chairs, his seats, his signage, his everything is so standardized that he's able to move anywhere and build maybe 5 on one street in the world. This is how we should look at creating change. Because if we are waiting for the governments to move their backsides, it's not going to happen. So, and we have seen it, reduce, reuse, recycle. It started off in 1970s, recycle as of 2024, we have reached 9%. That means 91% of your chips packets until today goes into the ocean. Today, reduce, I don't think so any of us are reducing anything. It is due to increase 6 times by 2050. And reuse, I don't think so any of us are taking our shampoo bottles and going back to the retail shop and refilling them, right? So these are campaigns that have been around for some time and have had no impact. And if we're awaiting for this to kind of change our lives, I think we would be foolish. However, we have a great chance today because technology is in our hand. At one point in time, knowledge was being given by one person sitting in the hills. And you had to take your horse and your carriage and reach there and sit in front of him to gain that knowledge. But today we don't have that. Today it's on our phones. It's just about asking the right question. And all I'm trying to induce to the audience today is there is a natural tendency to build things in a way that it sits at the top and then we want to percolate it downwards. But I think there is a great chance for all of us to start bottom up. And we create it in such a fashion, and the thinking should be in such a fashion that we're trying to do this here because we want to replicate it. And if all of us start to use existing technologies and start thinking about problem solving from a point of view of sustainability, education, women empowerment, water, trees, soil, anything of that sort, solve it in a small place, make it so modular that you're able to replicate it. This is the message that I wanted to hand over to you guys, and it's only because I and my team, we have been introducing sustainable alternatives since 2007. We package 75,000 refrigerators every month where we replace a thermocol packing with a technology called paper honeycomb. We have now taken single-use and MLP plastic and made it into a high-performance construction material to be able to build tomorrow's homes and buildings. The intention of doing all of this is to engineer solutions that create high value for waste, which then creates a demand for this material, which then develops an ecosystem. So in that pursuit of creating those solutions, we identified that there's a phenomenal opportunity of a bottom-up approach. And I wanted to share that with all of you and would encourage all of you to try and take that approach while you address any local, societal, or community-based issues. All the best to all of you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Praveen. Wow, that is incredibly inspiring, actually. Really, the banyan tree, bottom up. Any questions for Praveen? Anyone wants to ask anything? Comment?
Hi, thank you so much for that, and I'm very passionate about this issue as well. But my question to you is, you mentioned two things. One is doing things at our personal level, right? And the other is, on the other side, if as an individual or as an entrepreneur, you can come up with solutions that help resolve those issues. But at a personal level, like as a consumer, the waste that we produce, right? What can we do about it, considering that waste segregation is still not that developed in India, right? We only have, we can only throw it in the dustbin, right? After that, what happens to that, we don't know. But we know, like, it's going to the ocean only, right? So what can we do at a personal level is my question, when we are limited in terms of resources to, uh, resolve those kind of products that are non-degradable.
All parts of your question is absolutely accurate except the last bit of we don't have enough resources. It was true until 5, 6, 7 years ago. But now, I don't think so we all have lesser resources. We can reach out to anyone, you can just hashtag somebody and get their attention. You know, to get money, to get resources. It's only about telling the compelling story. So, it's from that point of view, I would think that the storytelling should start naturally becoming bottom up. As soon as we start doing that, then you'll start seeing that the resources that you require also are very small to make an impact in a small place. Today, what we're attempting to do is trying to boil the ocean. Right? Though there's millions of tons of plastic, what does my packet put in the dustbin make a difference? You will see so many genuine people who are so passionate about the environment, eventually going out there and cleaning a beach, and then eventually coming back and seeing the next day morning it's practically full of plastic again. It's a very demoralizing situation wherein we're slowly getting to a point of defeat. And that is the environment that needs to change. We cannot feel defeated. When you're feeling defeated, we cannot feel disempowered to kind of address this problem. Today, we want to take it in our hands. We have to understand that we have incredible amount of resources, more than the human race has ever had in the past. So if there is a true intent to make a change, today we have everything. All I'm saying is we could try and look at it from a different method. The start point should be bottom and do it small and do it so well that you can replicate it. So as soon as you do it small, it's very tangible, it's very easy, you need lesser amount of money, lesser resources, lesser everything, but then the understanding is to be able to replicate it. So COVID virus is an excellent example. I mean, instead of taking the banyan tree, I want to take COVID, but it's a very, negative connotation. So that's why the banyan tree. The mother tree just anchors itself first. Does such a job with an intent to just go out there and create more mothers, not subsidiaries. Wherein to the extent the mother is willing to give up, at the end of it all, the mother doesn't exist, but now after that on, the original tree doesn't even play any role. That's the way we should create things today, and then the next stage of entrepreneurs, I guess, will be out there.
Anyone else?
I mean, see, as an individual, right, I think that we should do our bit to take care of the environment, but I'm not as passionate as you are, or maybe she is. So I try to do my bit. But what caught my attention was you were talking about a process, right, where we basically inspire others and then we form a community and then grow down. Do you have any such examples which a person like me who want to do something but has not done something yet, that I can emulate, that will actually help?
Actually, we will be conducting our first trial in Bangalore, in Hormao, where we are creating our first cluster. It's actually a waste management cluster. The intent is to, so we're creating the first one, and we would love to if you're passionate and you want to do something about it, you can participate in the first one in helping us plan, organize, do the entire thing. We have created our first model wherein waste is QR coded at a home, goes to a scrap shop, then gets processed, and from there on you can understand that that area's plastic doesn't go into the ocean. Right? We're able to guarantee that digitally, not with some weighbridge slips, which is now happening at all these places and showing themselves to be over compliant. because they're just getting weighbridge slips to show their policies. So this is just trying to bring about that thing, and we're introducing a new 3 Rs, not reduce, reuse, recycle, but we're changing it to repurpose, repair, and record. Because reduce, reuse, recycle was a cool advertisement campaign. It was not a scientific process that somebody did some research and then said, hey, you know what, if you do it like this, then it's going to happen. There was some senator in Wisconsin in the US who came up with this cool campaign about, just trying to make it rhyme. But it's not a scientific process. We cannot reduce anything. We cannot reuse anything. We're not designing things in that fashion. We have to accept it. And then once we accept it, then after that, there are solutions that can now begin. So it is our attempt to try and create a 360-degree turn on sustainability and the understanding of it. And this dependence on governments will reduce as soon as you make it small. If you want to do a city-wide thing, it's always an issue. But as soon as you do it that way, then you can just replicate. Yes, to answer your question, yes, you can participate in something that we are doing right now, and we hope to be able to replicate it further on. And our target in the next 5 years, we all should be like, you remember that time we should throw plastic on the street? We hope to reach there.
Anyone else? No? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Praveen. There was so much learning and really just also putting